Hi guys, welcome to the last video of reading comprehension. So this video has been made with one and only purpose that I understand that you will start learning the concepts at some point in time and you'll do a little bit of practice, and after that you'll shift to some other concepts, maybe in the vocabulary section, maybe in the English section, or maybe you'll shift to DILR or the quantitative section. But after that you will want to come back and keep on practicing RC. So the thing with RC is you need to practice it over a period of time. You can't it's not like math. You can't do it, you can't do all types of questions at once and then you'll know that you'll be able to crack it when it is there in the exam. You need to be in constant touch with the concepts, and not just in touch with the concepts, you need to improve your concepts over practice over time. All right, so the only purpose of this video is that you're able to recapitulate all the concepts that you've done in the past 11 videos. So basically this particular booster video will make sure that whenever you want to come back to RC, just have a look at this short 15-minute video and you have all your concepts on top of your mind again, and you are as fresh as you had just learned the concepts. And you can go for the kill. You can practice as many RCs as you want, develop more hacks through these concepts. So basically this video is to be seen only when every previous video has been seen properly. There are no queries with the previous videos, and the individual concepts have been practiced. So there are concepts like conjunctions, there are concepts like tones. So once you have actually made a list of all tones, you have practiced multiple questions based only on tones, like that, when every previous concept has been properly practiced, you can now do a whole and soul generic practice by solving different questions and different RCs or different genres. So before you start doing those general RCs or those general questions and general practice, this video is the one that you should see. So basically this video is after you've mastered all the previous concepts and you've done your basic practice. This is for your next level practice and revision. All right, so we are going to start with the very basic of RC. What is the aim behind any RC reading? As I have mentioned, the first one is you have to make sure that your answers are correct. So you answers the questions correctly. So that means that your efficiency is and accuracy is good. Second, you need to reduce the speed as much as possible, but you do not want to really affect your accuracy because of that. So you have to make sure that your speed has been reduced. You read faster, but you also read better and understand it. This is the reason that we have seen so many hacks in the 11th video. And the last one is you need to understand the passage, for the simple reason that you are able to recheck what kind of things you are doing in your RC, what answers you're giving, why option A is the right answer is important to know. But with RC, it is also important to know why option B, C and D are not correct. All right. So to be able to recheck and eliminate other options and recheck what you've answered, you need to understand the passage. Moving to the strategy. So any question from RC you get, no matter if it's a long question, short question, number of questions which are based on the paragraph, all this is not important. Our first and foremost strategy is going to be this. I'll give you 5 seconds to have a look at it. So if you remember, our strategy is simple. As soon as you get the passage or the RC question, directly go to question number 1. Read the question. When you read the question, come back to the RC, skim through the RC so that you know what the RC says and how is that related to the question, and find the part in the RC which is related to that particular question. When you find that part, just answer the question from the passage directly without reading the answer options. This is the most important part in the strategy. You do not have to read the answer options, because once you read the answer options, you are going to have a bias in your head and you will directly make your assumptions even when you don't know the answer, and then that bias is going to be there all across your answers. You cannot get rid of a bias. You could not say that I read the question, I had a bias, I had a confusion, I could not solve it, so I moved on. Even if you do other sections, even if you go ahead and do the math section and come back, you will still have that bias. All right. So make sure you answer it on your own. Once you answer it on your own in your head, the vocabulary used could be different. Don't worry. The concept is more important. After that, you should read each and every option answer that is being given, and you have to find the one that is closest to your answer. So this is your fourth step. But the fifth step says that once you've chosen that okay, option A is the answer, you need to find the logic which tells you that why is answer option B, C, and D not the answer. So with RC, it is absolutely important that you know that answer A, option A is the answer, but you also know that why B, C, and D is not going to be the answer. Next, you go to question number 2, you find the related part, and you do a similar kind of a strategy. So this strategy is completely very important because this will make sure that you have understood the passage properly, you have saved your time by focusing only on those areas where the answer for the questions is given. You are not the aim of the RC is not supposed to teach you something. It is the aim of the RC is to understand that if you see an unknown piece of text and there are certain questions that you have to answer, are you able to do it quickly and correctly? All right, so nobody's going to later on ask you, okay, recall by memory what you read in RC. That is not the whole point. The point is you know what questions have been asked, what part is important, and you focus your energy and time only on those parts. Hence our first step is always going to be reading the questions and then going back to the relevant sections of the RC. All right, so this was one of the concepts. So we also have a plan B, because there might be some people who are not okay or will not even over practice get used to the fact that you don't even have a look at the RC. So we have a plan B which is universally acceptable in almost all cases. So the first step in this plan is you skim read the passage in 3 to 5 minutes. So when you skim read, you use all the concepts that we have learned so far. You skip the details, you skip the specific idea, you skip the words or the clauses between two hyphens, you skip what is there before the word that, you skip what is there between the word who, and you also skip all the dependent clauses, because dependent clauses do not really give you very much of information. So once you have skim read the whole passage in 3 to 5 minutes, make sure you keep a check on time, because sometimes if the genre or the topic is interesting to you, you'll keep on drowning away time. You'll not even realize that you are actually leisurely just reading and trying to understand and form an opinion, which is not the point. RC does not aim to check what is your opinion about the passage, what is your interest about the passage. That was all school level exams wherein they would ask us to give a title for the passage because they wanted you to understand the passage. But this is not the aim here. In CAT, you just need to answer questions correctly and quickly. So once you read the question, you go back and find the related part from the RC, and then you follow the similar steps. You answer it on your own without reading the answer options, without creating a bias in your mind. Moreover, after that, you read every other answer option which is the closest, and you find the closest one. After you find the closest one, you eliminate by logic why every other option is not going to be the answer, and then you go to question number 2. Now the advantage of skim reading is that you will save time in searching for the relevant part for every question. So, but the important part is, if you've already read the question, when you skim read also, you will know what is the important part to read. So in a way, both these parts are very well intercorrelated. So you have to choose what you are comfortable with and what gives you more efficiency. What I would suggest is you try out plan A in a few questions of a similar difficulty level in one of the mock CATs and see what is your accuracy, and then you try plan B in another mock test in a similar level of difficulty in a mock CAT, and you'll know what works out best for you. Alright. Moving to the most important concept that we've learned is the concept of tones. So if you remember, we classify tones on the basis of, are they high on one particular emotion. If they're high on one particular emotion, they're generally negative in nature, like acerbic tone, harsh tone, rude tone, something like this, criticism and all that. So these are negative tones which are high on one emotion. Then there are certain neutral tones which are just tones about the passage, like narrative, informative, and factuals. These just tell you about what the passage is. It does not really give you any emotional opinion with the passage. And the other end of the spectrum is a mixed bag, which is not high on any single emotion at all. It is a mixed bag with tones of all types, of all genres, and that can be applied to various kind of RCs. All right. So if you know how the classification works, you will know what is the tone of the passage in general, and then you can decide which one is the exact one depending on the context from the options. Moving to the conjunctions, we had seen a spectrum wherein certain conjunctions always make sure that they have a continuation of ideas before and after the conjunction, while some conjunctions have contrasting ideas. For example, the conjunction moreover is something which is a continuation conjunction because it just continues the idea that was presented in the previous statement. But compared to that, something like the conjunction in spite of or the conjunction but is a contrasting conjunction because it presents a negative or an opposite kind of an idea after the conjunction. All right. So also this is something which, these are all the concepts that we have done in all the previous videos. So it talks about how you should know about the main idea, and how you should know about the general idea, and how you should know what a pronoun is. And you also need to know that which pronoun is used for which noun. So every pronoun used in the video, in the RC is actually a pronoun for some noun or some idea. So the why I have put idea in caps is because there might be pronouns which are referring to an idea and not to a noun in itself. So you need to make sure that you understand that every it, he, she, whatever pronouns are there, those pronouns are, which nouns they refer to, because this will make sure you check what concept is being talked about, what topic is being talked about. All right. Another one is you need to identify a conjunction, whether it's a contrasting conjunction or a continuation conjunction. Once you identify whether it's a contrasting or a continuation conjunction, you definitely know that are you in sync with what the author is trying to say. Next one is you should obviously know the tone that is being used so that you know the answers that you're giving, are they right or wrong or what. And you should know the hacks. The hacks should come very naturally to you. You don't really have to rote learn them, but you have to practice them a lot. You have to try and identify the hacks wherever possible. And as I said in one of the hacks, avoid reading that is there between two commas and something which is before that. These are some of the hacks that we had discussed. So I think we come to a close to the reading comprehension. So we started with the concepts and we took examples with every concept that we learned to make sure that every concept is cemented very properly in your mind once you practice it. I would suggest that you do a couple of things. One, you make sure that you've understood every video in the series of reading comprehension. In addition, you've practiced the examples apart from the ones that have been discussed. Always try to practice solved examples because they actually are the ones which have answers, so you know where you're going wrong if you're going wrong. And I hope you make a list of all the tones and classify them on the basis of neutral, negative or mixed bag, because there are a lot of complex synonyms that you've not even heard of. So if you think you're good at vocabulary, there will be still words which you've not heard of. So please make sure you make a list of the tones, and make sure to follow the strategy that I've suggested about reading and see the difference in your accuracy and speed. And do come back to the revision video whenever you want to do RC again after a short period of time, after a long break or something. So I hope you guys have been able to understand how to now approach RCs. The kind of fear that people have for RCs has gone down a bit after the video series. Whatever queries you have, you can please feel free to reach out to me, and I will try to the best of my capabilities to resolve it for you. I hope you guys do really well at CAT and get to your dream schools. All the best to you. Thank you.